Hello and welcome to the new Power BI Workout Wednesday exercise video. I attempted the Power BI accessibility enhancement and trust me, this is a very important feature, sometimes overlooked, but I guess the team or I guess Megan has done an amazing job in terms of noting it down. What I would say, all of these requirements is something we should have it as our steps to make sure that our dashboard not just look visually appealing but also accessible to the all. That means those who use the screen reader, let's say in case person is blind, they use the screen reader and all to read what is on the screen. And here in these requirements you will find some information about how you can configure or what ideally the standard should be to configure a very applicable to the all sort of a dashboard, which not only a normal person in terms of normal viewing capability should be able to see, but those who have the difficulty in viewing, let's say, the color. There are many people who are colorblind, and even over here they have mentioned, like according to Qual, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but about 30% of white collar employees in US has the disability, 60% of them has a disability with the invisible kind. So it's not obvious to others by looking at them, and they might not tell you about their disability or request accommodation because at least a third party of the third of the employees with a disability have experienced discrimination or bias. So keeping in mind how sensitive this subject is, this becomes, the responsibility of the dashboard developer becomes, so important that you are designing a dashboard which is useful for the colorblind people as well as to those people who cannot see anything, and they use I think narrator software to literally view what is written on the screen. So that's something I wanted to take it up, and honestly I learned a lot like with every other exercise, but I feel like this is so important. Here we are not creating anything, but we are learning about this very sensitive and important feature which we should keep in mind whenever we are designing the dashboard. Okay, so with that we will go on and look at step by step. I will do probably the first step and I will ask you to do the rest of the steps. All right. With that information, what I want to do is, if you have landed very first time on my channel, just a quick information I want to give is, as you can see, I'm on week 14. So every week I am picking up the exercise and keeping it here like till the week 13. I still need to publish the video. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping a track of what I have done so far. But during that, what I'm keeping is the video link, so that if you want to visit any of my previous video, you can do that. Also, you can view the exercise link. On top of that, something which I've showed you in my very first video is down there, even you can see this solution as well. So what I usually do is during this, if I find anything interesting or probably slightly different from what solution is already been given, then I just produce it, or I give slightly more exercises, or add probably my twist to it. So that is something you have with you as to what you want to if you want to follow the solution as well. So just wanted to give that information. Also, apart from this, if you see this sheet, which is a live Google sheet, and the link is present in the description, what it has is basically two tabs. The first tab is, from a long time I'm producing this video, so I have 200 videos right now, where some dashboard videos which I have highlighted, as you can see over here, right? And the name of the video and the link is present over here. That way you can easily search rather than going through a lot of my videos. You can easily use this sheet by link present in the description. Come here, search the video whatever you want, and jump to that video using the link present in column B. So this is how I will be creating a tab. As soon as I find something more interesting, maybe I'll create more tab. And since it is a live sheet, you will always find it up to date. Okay, so with that information, let me move on to the to this exercise. So the requirements are down here. So first thing first is, if you have not been following this exercises, then here you can download the file, which is nothing but the week 3 file. So that's something I have already downloaded. If I go here, right, so you see this is the file. If you will download it using the link which is present here, this is how it will come. So that's the step number 1. Measure the requirement number 2 is measure the color contrast ratio of the line in the area chart, against the background. So background is white, as you could see earlier. Adjust the visual colors as needed, as they have a color contrast ratio of 3:1 against the background, right? You can use this website like color contrast checker. I can right click and show you over here. You can put your foreground and background and we will see the ratio over here. Other than that, you have a second option of color contrast analyzer, which I am using. And even you will see that in the solution video of this video, which is at the end, is also the author is also using it. So I think this is far more easier. So what it shows is like whether contrast, minimum, AA, AAA setting, all of this is whether it is passing or not. So that is something is available for Windows and Mac. So I'm using Windows because anyway Power BI is only available on Windows. So this is where I've downloaded, and this is where my tool is. Okay, if you will see, right, I was doing some settings and this is what present. Okay, so with that, what is needed, I'll just hide this. You can download and install without an issue, and then the only thing we need to make sure is color contrast ratio is 3:1. Okay, so let's go here. So very first thing is line, right? So we have the line color and the area color. Line color, area color. So all of this you need to identify. So for this I will just bring this. We have this background color. So background color is white, as you can see, but this color is something you can pick and choose from here. If it is too difficult, what you can do is press escape. You need to make sure this visualization is selected. Format your visual lines. Go to solid. Go to color. And here is your color. So what you can do is choose this color picker. Come over here. This will be easy, right? So the color contrast ratio is 5:5:1. So we need to make it like 3:1. So another thing is what you will not see is like this will not be enabled the way it is enabled. So I just clicked on RGB or HSL or HSV, whatever mode you find it useful. So I am using, let's say, the RGB, and if you see, the color is changing, right? So based on what RGB setting we want, we can make it color contrast. So 3:1. If let's say this is the setting that you want, then like 3:1 color contrast ratio, you can copy this and over here, more colors, paste it and come back, and this will change accordingly, right, as you can see. So this is something what color contrast ratio 3:1 is something what they need. However, down there you can see that it may fail on the regular text, but it will pass on the large text. In AAA fail, but for UI component, graphical object, it is passing. So this is what we are showing, right? Graphical context, and it is passing. Now you need to do the same thing for this and change the color based on either RGB or HSL, saturation, lightness, alpha, and HSV, which is a different setting altogether. So that's number 1 that we need to do. All right, and over here, if I go to the exercise, all right, go ahead, minimize. line in the area chart and the bars. So do the same thing for bars as well for this exercise. This and this, then you should match. So again, for this you have this bars. Go to bar and you have the color over here. Same thing. If I paste it, this is what it is. Come back and this is how it is coming, right? So now we have this ratio of 3:1. After that, measure the color contrast ratio of text in one card, one area chart and one bar chart. Okay, I am just reading. Measure the color contrast ratio of the text in one card, one in area chart and one in, adjust the text color on all cards. Area charts and bar chart need to have a color contrast ratio 4.5 to 1. Okay, so let's bring it here, and this should be what? Title. Is that what's been asked? Ratio of the text in one card, one area chart and one. Adjust the text of all cards, bar chart, so it needs to be had a color contrast 4:1 against the background. Okay, so the text that is present is this, even this one, right? So what is the text color is something, I have it here, category label, and this is the color, right? So here foreground is this. Just pick this 6.5 to 1. So pretty much near, right? If I keep it like a little bit on this side, not near, it should be 4.5 to 1. Okay, so color contrast ratio is this alpha. If I 4.5, I am increasing this, you'll see, increasing this. So as you can see, we need to play it around a little bit, just so that we are getting the output as expected. No, 4.5 to 1. What we can do is, .9, 5.7, 3.9. This is like coming closer to what we need. 4. Is that okay? If I choose this, so again, put it over here. That passes. 4.5. So this is something we need to play it around with the RGB. As you can see, it is impacting the color. 4.5. 4.5 is a standard, however you can go a little bit up and down as per the need. So that way you will choose the color what you need. Okay, let's, if that's a color we want to choose, we choose this, maybe more color, paste it here, slightly different, right? And that should be, the category label, which is this one. If you want to change it into the title, come over here in title, revenues, this is the color and here is your color. It becomes like little light so that this value is highlighted more. Do the same for total revenues and conference, and even for these colors, access colors. Okay, now let's move on to the third one. Add, so if I close this now, add all text and non-decorative visual. Add all text to non-decorative visual on the web. Check out the Nightingale article. Here is some article about the alt text, some inspiration for writing. When consuming a Power BI visual with the screen reader, Power BI announces the visual title and the visual type, then the alt text. Okay, so visual title it announces first, visual type, bar chart or whether it is a bar chart or a line chart or what it is, and then the alt text, which is about the visualization. So for example, I'll show you one here for this revenues visual call out value over here. Okay, in general, here is the alt text. Enter a description that will be read by a screen reader on selecting a visual. So this will be total revenues KPI based on the selection. Total revenues KPI in million based on the year selection, right? So that's something you need to write it for this, and even for this, right? All of this needs to be written as per the, so it's like area chart over a period of time, like for example from 2005 to 2017, right? Showing the trend of revenues. Same with expenses. And this is like conferences that you have different conferences based on revenue, conference that is based on revenue, expenses on the conference, and profits. So that's something you need to add it as a alt text. I've showed you one, right? This one. You need to practice it for the rest of the one because I have already done mine. Okay, so with that, Power BI announces visual and visual type and alt text. Update the titles to be descriptive and useful as possible. For visuals that have the title hidden, add descriptive title and then turn off this title, right? For example, like this one. Update the titles. For example, the revenues area chart might be total revenues by year 2005 to 2017. So if I select this, enable the title, paste it, right? Now even if we hide it like this, still screen reader will going to announce the title, what we have entered here. Similarly, enter it for revenue, for expenses, for profit. This one anyways is present, but for here we need to change the title, right? This is like conference by revenues or something like that. We need to write it. So same way, you need to go in general, in title, add more descriptive title like comparison of conferences, revenue or revenue generated by conference, something like that. I don't have a very much insight into the data, but that's something I can make it out from looking at what is the expenses that happened on the conference, what is the profit that is coming out of the conference. So that's something, a relevant title we need to add. Okay, so you know where to add. It's like select the visualization, go over here in general and add this title, right? Profit by conference or conference type maybe, but that will be very much you will be aware whenever you will create your own business dashboard, right? Set the tab order on the page so that title box will come first, the year slicer second, revenue card third, the revenue area chart fourth, bar chart fifth, and continues of okay like this. So where we are going to get this is here in view. We have the selection, right? So here is this. This should be the first one. Then we have the slicer. Then we need revenues. Where is revenues? Okay. Then we need this one, revenue area chart. Right. Then we need conference. Select this and you will find it. Do the same for expenses, KPI, expenses area chart and expenses bar chart, and then for this, right? These are the remaining ones. That way, when let's say someone has selected this and I'm pressing tab, right? So you can see when I press the tab, it is picking up the shape, and then this, and then this, and then this. So we need to specify even the order of the tab as well in that case. So that way it will something show you step by step. So tab order, if you will see layer order, and then you have the tab order. So what will be the first? First will be your text box, then the slicer, then the shape. Come on. Okay, anyway, if I show this, I can put it up here, and then I can hide this. And then we have, I think we can show this, no issues. And we have profit. No, we don't need profit. We have revenues. I'll show you one and then you can do that. Revenues, area chart, and then bar chart. Yep. So now if I select this, press tab, I need to select it like properly select, not enter it. Tab, next tab, next tab, next tab, next tab. Now after this the next tab should come here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here. So make sure you arrange it. That way, you know, your user will be able to navigate to the dashboard via the tab without the mouse, that means. Okay. Mark any decorative images such as line orders as decorative, so it is hidden. So it is hidden. Mark any decorative shapes or images such as the line shape under the page title and as decorative, so it is hidden from tab order. As decorative, as it is hidden from the tab order. So for that shape, hide it. Use keyboard shortcuts to navigate the report and do the following. Set the year slicer to 2017 and review the report. Anyway, my slicer is 2017, but I'll change this report and then clear the slicer selection. Okay. So if I press Shift Tab, I just need to close this and need to come here. Let's say I press my tab, the first tab is here and the second tab is here. And now the interesting part is that you need to come over here. Right now the box is selected. So for that, what you have is the Control Enter, right? And then hit the tab, navigate here, right? Drop down, the down arrow, right? What do you want to select, right? 2007, I am hitting my space bar, or 2009 or what? And press, either you press enter, it will be removed, or you press enter to select it. But I'm navigating it using my up and down arrow key. I can hit space bar or I can hit enter and it will select it. And then if I press escape, it will come back, right? So make sure after you have selected this, the control is basically to this, control enter to basically go inside this component. If I hit escape again, my first or my component is selected. So that is something interesting. I wanted to show you how you can do that. Now, what is the next? So this is something we have done. Select the SEC conference in the revenue bar chart. Now you know how to do that, right? Using the tab, control, enter and all. So do this. Then navigate through the revenue area to the year 2007 and then find the total revenue amount, right? So select the SEC conference and in the area chart, select the 2007, right? And find then the total revenue for this. Bonus, try using Windows Narrator or Apple VoiceOver. So I'm leaving it up to you, like Windows Narrator if you want to use, just to experience the report that you have created. So this is something you can find it in your Windows Narrator. I think if I select and say Narrator like this.
Search window, search box,
okay.
2021 week 4.
As you can see, it is announcing
14.
something.
Accessibility, Power BI desktop, 3 of 8.
Right, so something what it is picking up and announcing, but that is something I leave it up to you, that you want to use the narrator. I have not gone very much in depth into it, but that is something useful for those who are sort of use the narrator because they can't see the screen which is going on, or they can't see what is written on the screen. So that's all in all what I wanted to show about how you can configure or how you can go step by step for this exercise. I hope you have enjoyed, like I have enjoyed it so much, and it is basically giving us a lot of inputs as to about the colors, about adding the titles, and navigating the dashboard using just with your keyboard. So it's a shortcut as well. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll meet you in the next video, the new topic.